All right, so I just filed the report with a woman in the DCPD, and she seemed kind of funny to me, but I'm going to trust my guidance. No, I'm misunderstanding that. She's actually a really nice lady. She seemed funny to me, but that's why I'm glad I have guidance, because sometimes someone can respond to you a certain way. This is every day people get this way, and you read into it or whatever, and it's just not, the wires aren't crossing. It's just the way maybe she relates to people, and you know, I mean, the whole dynamic thing. And she was a nice lady. She was very professional. I got the job done. We reported it. It was thorough. It's docketed. But because of what I've experienced here with the DCPD, dude, they're absolute criminals up the street. This is unfounded. Nobody arguing that. It's shocking to the fucking other countries. What's going on in the capital? This is the capital of our entire country. So, I mean, this is obviously a meth house. I'm not talking about nothing here for reasons. Doesn't mean I won't ever. It means right now. Unless you want to come and do your job and talk to me about it, all right? It's not going on no fucking internet right now. You get it? But she was really nice. That's what my guidance was. She was really nice, but I was like, no, don't trust her, right? Because I can't trust the fucking cops here. My guidance was, no, she's a nice lady. And this, so I'm thinking, okay, Jesus, it's just real fast guidance. I can get it fast. That's how I navigate my day. I get it fast. It keeps me straight. I like to believe that, you know, it's fine. Then I thought, so how is it for her? She's working with cops like this. She's working in a city with feds that pimp bitches for the DOJ out of fucking expensive restaurants. And she's a female black officer. You can't trust all the black officers here, the females. No, half of them are for the fucking mob here. So how do you think she feels, Heidi? If your guidance is that she's stand up and she's an American patriot, because my guidance has been that like thousands of the DCPD are straight on the line, man. They're not with the mayor and Trump and all this setting the city up with the Proud Boys and stuff, because that's what they're all about. They have financial incentive in this meth house and this narco state, financial incentive to bring in the mob, to bring in the white power. They want to separate the races. No, I'm not fucking kidding. You can find this on your own. I'm not making this up out of a hat. It got really, really bad here. That's why other world leaders and stuff, those types, read my account. Have you connected those dots yet? I'm not making this stuff up. All right? I prove it. And then I send it and it gets verified. You know what I mean? That's how I prove it. I just think it's worth commenting that. But my guidance was, no, she's a nice lady. So I wished her a happy new year. And look, I did. I'll put it out there. It's worth saying it. I thought for a second, why don't you have some compassion? Think about it on the other side, how it is for her. She's a badge holding. So fucking noisy here. It's horrid, dude. Whoa. She's a badge holding, probably gun certified, like armed woman. Cop chick. How do you think she feels? And this fucking city's falling around her, and half these people in her ranks are the fuck traitors to their fucking country. Pimping fucking any bitch. It ain't just the black ones. Remember, they be pimping the Mexican ones, the Mexican minority fucking child sex ones. They be pimping all the fucking bitches here in DC. How do you think she feels? So maybe she was nice. Maybe she was nervous talking to me. No, I'm not against her, but it's just a personality thing. Like when you get, you get in your class for the first day and you're meeting your professor and you're like, I don't like my professor. You leave the class that day and then you turn out that you really liked your professor. You know what I mean? Or I don't like how they talk to me. You're nervous about somebody. Somebody that you like a professor, or me, I like cops, I like military, I like these people. They've really let me down, a lot of them in America. But I'm not the only one they let down. So how do you think she feels? Maybe this lady has been really let down too. And she's holding, a badge and like, I know. And I think about that. Like a lot of them have families. A lot of cops and military have families, federal agents. Maybe they have been threatened, not just their livelihood. Because look what happened to me. I was financially completely fucking destroyed. I was created for that because I never had kids or anything. I was like, all right, let's do this. Fine. I'm not going to sell my body, bitches. I'm not going to whore my body. So you can go ahead and make me as poor as you want. I'm not going to whore my body. But I don't have kids to feed. No, because I was created for this. May I repeat? It was my fate. But I think about that. Maybe she has kids. Who knows, right? She's got this job. People need to work, dude. Especially with our economy right now. I'm talking the last decade, how it got really dire. Our economy, the rent, the real estate, all of it was fixed. It was set up to crash it. Oh, it's all, we're standing on glass, people. We're standing on glass and it's cracking right now. So I filed the report. It's like, how many reports have I filed by weird fucking shit in this house? Right? How many, and then it got really bad. I witnessed a bitch get killed. I mean, it really looks like that. And that's where you bring in the police. Because me as an unarmed civilian, I need to call the police and they need to check this out because I really witnessed some fucking crazy shit here. And this, you present to a cop would really fucking open their eyes. They'd be like, what? No, not here. In fact, they started flailing their hands and saying nothing was happening, telling me, the witness, that I never heard or smelled or heard or saw anything. Me, I'm the one that saw it all. But I didn't. In fact, I'm imagining it. In fact, I'm bipolar. Am I smoking crack too? With all these fucking chicks here? Oh. No, I've seen it before in New York. They protect stash houses like that. But they're not good at it here. They got involved with it real fast here. And I don't think they were generationally shown how to do it. This has been going on in New York for decades. They bring in their sons. They raise them. That's how it happened. In New York, they had to force the NYPD to hire brown people. Does anyone remember that? Force them legally a few times. They've been generationally raising racist white men to work at the NYPD and do protect the mob. This goes back to the turn of the century. So easily, if you have Al-Qaeda or you have Russia watching that, they're going to go for that. They're going to go for that if they want to take our country. They've been watching that how long? These folks have been watching us a long time too. My guidance is Al-Qaeda was watching us since the Civil War. The people in Saudi Arabia and over there and stuff have been watching us. These royal families around in the Middle East have been watching the United States, how to take our country since our last Civil War. These countries have been around a lot longer than us. And I know because Americans are such idiots. They don't even know their last war they had. They can't even tell you anything about World War II. They don't even know about the genocide. It's the truth. They don't. It was all, what's the word? That was on purpose. So I filed the report. I wished her Happy New Year. My guidance is she was nice. Maybe she is. I really can't trust the DCPD. I don't think anyone's going to blame me, all right? I know if I call 911 here, they have to come. My guidance was the 911, emergency. They got thousands of other cops that'll be on it that'll come here, that'll actually do police work. There are good feds in DC, but it's really bad. There's a couple thousand. Yeah, seriously, and this is no surprise, that are into pimping and transporting narc and all that. Can hide, play with their hands on the couch. Some of them apparently might be homosexual, calling girls, getting it together, having orgies. That's not what cops are supposed to be doing. No, it's not even fucking funny. So that's what I thought maybe, maybe you should give this lady a break because maybe that's why she was, to you, seemed weird, right? For one, you're apprehensive. You got that. That's you, Heidi. You got a little bit of full-on skepticism, justifiably. And this lady might be trying to maybe just be herself or get beyond that with you because I'm very public about what happened here. Everybody fucking knows what happened here in this house. And maybe, that's, so just stop. Maybe, because I was just the tone of voice. You know how you can get that way? You'd be like, I don't like how that professor said that to me. I don't like how they said it. You know what I mean? You read in, you get kind of, but why are you like that in the first place? Right? Because You really respect the professor, you want the professor to like you, or you respect the cops, you want the cops to like you. I said that in writing. I've always like loved cops. I said that in writing since I was a child. I play guitar. I'm a complete punk rock anarchist. Those two don't really make sense, but that was how I was. I'm created to be that way. So cops, professors, I mean, people who you look up to, you're going to be more sensitive how they talk to you. You are. It's just going to be a natural, emotional, human reaction. And I've been really let down by the police here in Washington, D.C. Like, tragically, I almost died because of them. That's why I'm harsh when I write. I have every right to be. But when I'm interacting with her or a cop here, I'm not going to be that justifiably angry. I'm always going to be whatever the word, okay? As I was with her on the phone. I was really kind to her on the phone. I believe I was. It was very nice. I felt like I didn't like her, like something was wrong with her. My guidance says no, there's probably a lot more going on to her being a woman in policing writ large in DC right now in 2020, and her being a black woman in policing. They're pimping fucking black chicks here. They killed one upstairs. I know that hits home a little bit with some black women, right? So, yeah, my theory is Trump got a lot of the black hookers into his thing. Russia ran the white ones initially. Trump, my theory, I don't want to talk too much about it right now, went too far with meth and hookers. Let's just say that. It's pretty clear on my account what I'm implying. I haven't talked about it for the last few days, which I won't until I'm probably out of this house, till I get a new place to live. Just because it's the smart thing to do. Any adult with 2 cents in their heads can connect the dots, all right? And if I have to, I'll call 911 right away. But the best thing for me to do to stay safe in here is just it's really out of my hands. Like I said yesterday, I cannot protect everybody here. That is not my job as an unarmed civilian or expected of me. I cannot protect all the people here. But what I can do is do what I can when things are stolen or windows are crashed or smelling dead bodies and stuff. I can do that. I can call, I can report, I can do that. Once it goes out of my little department, and if they're refusing at the DC Northwest or so on and so forth to do their job, it's out of my control. So I have to take care of myself. I have to keep safe in here, and I'm certainly not expected to keep these people safe so they can turn state. If the guy downstairs wants to turn state, it's not my job to protect him. I have to protect myself here. It's really noisy. It actually was quiet for the last 13 minutes. But there's some noise. Listen, my trucks are coming now, and I'm just going to hang it up. But I got my report filed for 2 days straight. They've been stealing stuff off my porch. I do believe it is the landlord. I'm not going to say why I'm saying that. I'm not going to go beyond that because I want to stay safe in here. All right? I cannot do anything about the people here. Half the time I cannot hear them anymore. The noise here has gotten so bad in this area. It has really gone up, the noise. So whatever's going on in this house, to keep myself disassociated from it and to keep myself safe so I'm not involved in it, one of those things is to not be putting everything out onto Twitter. You get it? Just stay safe in here. I'm going to survive this house. If the police are unable to protect and serve, which they are choosing to not, they're choosing to protect meth stash houses for Donald Trump. I believe that. They have proven they're definitely protecting a stash house. They have proven that. They have. But for who? I'll further that. I believe it's for Donald Trump. I believe he had an empire, some sort of great idea in his head. Let me get into drug dealing. I do believe that. All right. God bless America. Say goodbye.